right, folks, I'm Emma Jones and I'm joined by Liverpool fan Paul Machin from the Redmen TV and, of course, Statman Dave. And today we're asking if Jurgen Klopp can keep his cool for a whole Premier League season. Now, Paul's our guest on this week's Premier League preview, so be sure to check that out when it's released on Friday for plenty of in-depth chat with Statman Dave and I. Now, Paul, we saw Jurgen Klopp leading some frenetic celebrations after the European Super Cup win. Do you think he can keep his cool for a whole season and deliver the holy grail of a Premier League title?
Oh, yeah, it depends, genuinely. He's one of those guys, I think he gets a little bit of unfair criticism. I think some people who see him as this, like, German Martin O'Neill style character of just, like...
Good way to sum up.
Well, no, but, like, just like he's some sort of touchline cheerleader and not, like, a tactical visionary and top-level coach or whatever. Now, look, he does let his emotions get on top of him, absolutely, and we were chatting to him in the summer, and he was saying that he's becoming an older man, and he sees himself as being a lot more calm than he was. If you go back and watch his videos at Mainz and at Dortmund, and he's just barreling around the pitch and what have you. All that being said, we're only half a year away from him hugging Alisson in the middle of the pitch in the Merseyside derby, so, keep his cool is a relative thing. I think he has assembled a side there that has a steely resolution that maybe Liverpool sides haven't had in years gone by. They reflect that side of his character. The big, mad, grinning, hugging fella. It's got that too. It's got a fun side to it, but I think there's a real undercurrent of business about Jurgen Klopp and about this side that he's constructed. So, yeah, I think he can.
And I don't think that's surely not a bad thing to have that emotion and to sort of embrace that side of you. Surely you're tapping in, like you say, to a different side of them.
No, 100%. Look, to be fair, we're not so far removed from having Roy Hodgson as Liverpool manager. The dark days of being a Liverpool fan and also covering Liverpool professionally. As a guy who didn't get it. He didn't understand the Liverpool fan base. He didn't understand what we expected from a manager. We look at Liverpool and a lot of like northern clubs in particular, we deify our managers. When they come in, we like to put them on a pedestal. We like them to be all powerful. And Jurgen Klopp's got that. He's got something that's really aspirational, something to look up to. But he's also very keen to be a man of the people. He engages with the Liverpool fans brilliantly and whatever. I think he's got the perfect balance of, as I say, that steel, tactical knowledge, but also the charisma that you need to be a Liverpool boss.
Yeah, he's very charismatic. Dave, do you think that opposition managers have found an effective way to deal with Klopp's Liverpool?
I think there's certain managers that have done really good things with Liverpool. For example, Poch last season, the league game, I thought they found a way to play through the press, which we've not seen before. They set up with three sort of defenders. The left back dropped. Jan Vertonghen was playing out there. Danny Rose was ahead of him. And it was effective to actually play through. The thing that I question with Pochettino was he didn't do that in the Champions League final, and Jurgen Klopp adjusted his press. They pressed them really well out the back. So that's one way that you can actually play through this Liverpool press if you set up in the right way, but not many managers know that. The other side of it, I think the other thing that maybe Klopp needs to move on is dealing with people creating from the inside left and inside right channels. I think there's threats from there. I think Bundia showed that for Norwich, that ability to pick up the little pocket of space, play the through ball to the centre forward, run off the side, into out. That's another way to do it. But it's difficult because Jurgen Klopp, as Paul mentioned before, tactically is brilliant. That he will adapt. People adapt to him, he will adapt to them. And I think the next really interesting side, again, going back to the can they win the Premier League type vibe, is we need to see another adaptation of Jurgen Klopp. We saw the fullbacks become really involved in the final third now. What's the next step? I think that is the interesting side to see whether Klopp can catch Guardiola up.
Do you think that next step is doable this season?
Yeah, I think we've seen Liverpool in the last couple of years transition from being a counter-attacking side to being a possession-based side, more like what Man City have had to deal with, because when you gain this reputation of being a really dominant attacking force, more and more you come up against opponents who just go, well, forget it. We'll sit in, we'll defend for our lives, and we'll trust that if we come away with a draw, then that's a fantastic result done, at a major point end. So Liverpool having to get more and more used to just having all of the football, and that's a really difficult thing to do. It sounds really obvious. Oh, great, have the ball, do what you want, but you're tasked with a 90-minute puzzle, and that's how to break defences down, and that can be, we rode our luck a couple of times last season. I think the big thing for Liverpool is not having to rely on, 91st minute deflections and what have you. You need them if you're gonna do it, but we need to have more games that Liverpool get the game won within the 90, and I think that represents Klopp's biggest challenge.
I think the interesting side there is for me, the next solution for Jurgen Klopp is playing with a back three. He's been able to play in a back three, is to allow those wing backs even higher up the pitch and allow maybe the front players to play more narrow, sort of having that 3-4-2-1 shape in their locker to fall back if they think, look, we can't break these guys down, setting up how we're setting up. Let's throw in a three-man defence now. Let's get a lot higher up the pitch. That would be my sort of suggestion. But Jurgen Klopp knows what he's doing.
Well, the difference to what Liverpool are trying to do, and we see it, Liverpool have got the so-called Brexit midfield that drives fans mad, and that used to be Henderson, Milner, Wijnaldum, and it was seen as very workmanlike. If Naby Keita can stay fit, and if we can get Oxlade-Chamberlain up fit and firing as well, in addition to a revamped Jordan Henderson, it's actually going from the three guys up front, and you've got the two attacking fullbacks. You're then adding two attacking midfielders to the mix as well, because how do you cover that many players?
I think the balance there is the problem, though. I think if you've got two fullbacks that push up, you've got the two central midfielders, and you've got the front three, you're committing 7 players forward. You're going to get hit on the break. And I think that is why I'd potentially be thrown in that back three in there, is because it will give you a better base. And it maybe allow you to put another attacker in. Look, you could play Ox at right wing back. You could play Ox at left wing back. You know, that's an option there for Liverpool to really push forward and play, look, we can play all these attackers in this team. I just think the balance is going to be key to making sure that it works both in attack and in defence for Jurgen Klopp.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's an interesting point. But I think what we will do is we will try to maximise what we do first.
Interesting point about the back three there. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Thanks so much for coming along, Paul. It's great to have you here. Tell the people at home where they can find more of you online.
Yeah, youtube.com/MageTV is my own personal channel, and of course, youtube.com/the Redmen TV as well.
Thank you, Paul. And remember, Paul and Dave are on this week's Premier League preview released on Friday, so be sure to check that out, subscribe if you're new, and put notifications on to be the first to watch that. And you'll also get plenty more videos like this, so what's not to love? See you next time on Squawka.